Have you ever gotten your hands on a game that the press, friends, family, everybody tells you is legendary? Like, up there with the greatest games of all time. So you're excited, you go get the game, you get home, you throw it in, you grab your controller, and actually, the game's not for you. You're just, for whatever reason, not feeling it, and you can't get into the game. That's happened at least 7 times to me.
Now, I'm not going to go after games like Minecraft and Fortnite because I knew from the moment I cast eyes on them they weren't going to be my thing. No, this list focuses on games that, on paper, sound like a perfect fit for my taste, but once I fire them up, things just fall apart. Prepare to maybe hate me just a little bit. I like the concept of Bioshock. I'm very impressed with the exterior shots of Rapture. I want to like this game. I've started a new save file at least 4 times now, but I always get to the point where you're given the camera, and soon after that, I inevitably quit. Problem is, I find the core gameplay kind of dull. I can't get into the gunplay, the movement speed feels a tad twitchy for me, the hacking minigame outright sucks, and the enemies are just annoying. Visually, I know Rapture's gone to hell, but I find the interior so dank, dull, and unpleasant to explore. I can't get into the 1950s aesthetic, and it's not a dislike of that period's design, it's the uninspired implementation. See, something like Batman the Animated Series or The Incredibles takes that look and adds its own twist, but Bioshock is rather rote in its application. Rapture's just not a place I want to spend any amount of time in. Consequently, I haven't played Bioshock 2 or Bioshock Infinite because even while Infinite's change of setting could provide a much-needed boost, I expect the gameplay will be more of the same, and I'm worried the plot of the original might be important to understanding the sequels. I like fighting games. I like anime. BlazBlue should be an easy home run. My main issue here happened to be the controls. I found it a little stiff and clunky. I couldn't even get a basic combo going. Now, this might be me, but I find titles like Soul Calibur, Tekken, and Street Fighter much faster, smoother, and more responsive. Even an absolute newcomer can pull off a few moves in those games. BlazBlue doesn't feel as intuitive as other fighting games, and I quickly got frustrated. I'm sure there's a great game here if I choose to sit down, learn it, and play it the way the developers want me to, but I'm too impatient and lazy for that. The older I get, the less free time I have. I don't want to put in that much effort for my entertainment. The first time I tried to play The Last of Us, my wife started watching me play and wanted to see how the story turned out. This meant I could only play it while she was around, so she didn't miss anything important. As you can imagine, that meant play sessions got fewer and further between. Since then, I've started a separate save file I can play at my leisure, and I'm just not feeling it. The blind enemies that rely on sound feel like they have inconsistent rules. I often trigger them without fully knowing why. Once you do slip up, it feels like you may as well just reload the last checkpoint because you don't stand a snowball's chance in hell. It all feels agonizingly slow as you crawl through environments. It's just not for me. I normally love Naughty Dog's lineup. Crash Bandicoot, the first Jak and Daxter, and the Uncharted series are among the best games I've ever played. The Last of Us, though, goes right in the bucket with Jak 2 as a swing and a miss for me.
So, as I record this, State of Play was last night, and it turns out The Last of Us Remastered on PS4 is going to be included in October's PlayStation Plus games. Who knows? Maybe I'll give it another chance.
Going to be honest, you could probably put Final Fantasy Tactics, Disgaea, or Advance Wars in this slot, and it'd still be accurate. Look at their proposition. It's anime-styled, it's got a deep story, RPG elements, optional permadeath. What could possibly go wrong? Honestly, that battle system. Every strategy RPG has this grid-based system where you move units around, roll dice, and hope for the best. I get that description probably highlights I'm not playing them right, but I just don't find it the least bit engaging, and battles take far too long.
Would it help if I explained that my first experience with this game was the PS2 version? No? That's on me? I should have known better? Yeah, I figured as much.
I wasn't a PC gamer. Even now, I prefer to reserve my PC for artwork, video editing, and making games. I don't play much on it. By the time I got my first PC, I didn't have to share with the rest of the family something that could actually run Half-Life. Half-Life 2 Episode 2 had already been and gone. I think I just missed the boat on this one. Anything it did that was truly revolutionary and helped it win people over had long since become standardized by every game that had come after it. Even the monorail at the start was less a case of, this is innovative, and more, oh boy, another one of these. When can I start playing the actual game? I genuinely think this is a case of you had to be there, and I was so late to the party they'd demolished the club and built an old people's home instead. Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus is here. I've got to personally apologise to my friend Vinny because I'm about to dunk on one of his favourite games. In my defence, I really did try with this one. I used to own it on PS2, I was really excited for it, didn't get along with it, traded it in. I gave it another chance when the PS3 remaster was part of PlayStation Plus. Played it a few times, deleted it. I even bought the PS4 remake, it's been in my console once and has mostly sat on my shelf. I have this really weird part of my brain that wants me to play it and like it. This inner voice that says so many friends, family members and critics whose gaming tastes and opinions line up with yours, whose views and knowledge you respect, tell you this is one of the greatest games of all time. You can't not like it, you must be wrong. It's like there's this weird expectation of me that I should love this game, and strangely enough, I feel bad for not living up to that. There's a degree of spectacle at just how big the monsters are, but I find the quest to kill them all arduous. First of all, we mock Gears of War for bringing about the era of grey and brown games, where every artist turned the saturation slider way down, but somehow Shadow of the Colossus gets a free pass? Second of all, this game is so painfully slow. I understand you're supposed to struggle, that the controls fighting you as you climb a beast that doesn't want you scrambling up its fur is intentional, that the wind-up to each stab is meant to be tense and dramatic, but damn it, I just end up screaming at my TV.
Come on, climb, no, don't dangle, do not dangle, climb, that's it, you're up there. You're up there, good. That's it. Sword up. Right, just plunge it down. Just all we need to do, down. Just one stab. We need one more stab doing this. Go on, just plunge it down! Oh, come on!
I loved A Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. I admittedly slept on Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword because I initially skipped the GameCube and Wii. But I did buy a Switch, and I was really psyched to get my hands on Breath of the Wild. The opening of the game had my attention. Ganon had already won. Link was waking up from a slumber of who knows how long. I was genuinely intrigued. But that narrative quickly slipped away. Where previous games were a guided tour of Hyrule with the illusion of freedom, this game's truly open world. The story segments are entirely missable. I found it frustratingly aimless, wandering around, completing a couple of trials, not receiving much guidance, with very little happening in the story at an absolute snail's pace. Hyrule's already been decimated, so this huge space has very little actually in it. In the few hours I spent with the game, I didn't stumble across any towns, and only met one friendly NPC. I also hated the weapon durability. In RPGs, I like the sense of progression that comes with earning more powerful equipment, and to have that be disposable, to keep resetting my character like that, was beyond frustrating. It didn't force tactical decision-making, it just forced me to make do and mend. It wasn't satisfying at all, and it actively annoyed me.
I'm honestly in two minds about this one. I don't know whether to give it another try, see if I can't see what everyone else on the internet clearly sees in this thing, or just cut my losses, trade it in, and get something that I'll instantly enjoy. What do you guys think I should do?
So those were some probably very unpopular opinions. I'm sure this must have happened to some of you as well, though. Let me know in the comments, let's get some discussion going. I'm not sure if maybe some of this is herd mentality, like we all accept games like Psychonauts, which could have easily made the list, by the way, have to be good, just because people who are smarter and have more charisma than us on YouTube say so? I don't know, it's weird. Anyway, until next time, if you enjoyed this, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you very soon. Look at their proposition. It's anime-styled, it's fucked. Like this recording. First of all, we mock Gears of War for bringing about the era of grey and brown games where every artist turned to saturation? What's saturation? The opening of the game had my attention. Ganon had already... I'm doing it again.